Good morning, Year 5, and welcome to our first shared reading lesson for this week. We're going to mix it up a little bit now. Last week we were having a look at the spoken text. So we're actually having a look at the actual videos of spoken text. This week we're going to have a look at a different spoken text, but it's a transcript. So it's actually the written part of a spoken text that has already been presented. So we're learning to recognize the techniques that an author is using to position a reader and influence their point of view. So when we think about positioning a reader, it's making us feel a certain way. When it talks about influence our point of view, it's again trying to influence to think the way that they want us to think. So it's positioning us in a way to get their point across and to agree with them, but it's also getting me to influence what I actually thought. So trying to change my point of view or my opinion. And we're looking at the techniques that authors are using to do that. So to be successful, we need to be able to identify the purpose and audience of a text and justify our thinking. We need to identify and evaluate the techniques authors use to position a reader. And we need to identify and evaluate the techniques authors use to influence the reader's point of view. So let's have a look at our text for today. So I'm bringing up the text here straight away, and already I can see that heading and I can see that word bullying. And I think about, well, what do you think about when you do hear that word bullying? And I know that I personally think of, something that's persistently targeting another person physically or verbally or even socially. I feel like bullying, it's more than just a fight. Or just not liking someone. Bullying is something that's you're doing something or being mean about something over and over and over and over again. And when I think about that, I think about bullying can happen any place, it can happen any time, it can happen face to face, it can happen online, but it's something that can happen anytime. So straight away, I'm already sort of being hooked into this text because it's something that I know a little bit about. It's something that I've heard a lot about, especially being your age that you are now. I'm sure that's a word that you've heard a lot about, but it's really unpacking about, well, what is bullying and what do I think about that? So I think about it and I have a look at this heading and I can see it says bullying. Are you a part of the problem or part of the solution? And straight away, I can see that the author here is using a rhetorical question. And this is a very clever device or technique that the author is using because it's not even just that it is a rhetorical question, but it's what the rhetorical question is actually saying. Are you a part of the problem or part of the solution? So already I'm hooked in because they're actually hooking me in by using some of those personal pronouns. I wonder if I can comment on that one too. Yes, I can. So using a personal pronoun, again, is pulling me into this text because it's making me think about, oh, all right then, am I a part of the problem of bullying or am I part of the solution? Well, I don't really know. So that's really powerful, the way that that's been brought up. So we think about this as a transcript and a speech that's being presented. Imagine someone standing up saying that straight away, bullying. Are you a part of the problem or part of the solution? So already addressing the audience. Wow, very, very powerful. I'm going to add that on here. It's also addressing the audience. Using those personal pronouns, that's important as well. So I think it's a strong title for this speech. It's got me thinking. It's got me responding. It's directly addressing the audience. It's using rhetorical questions. It's making connections straight away with that word bullying. And we've literally just looked at the title. So if I think about straight away the technique that authors are using to position a reader or to influence our point of view, straight away hooked me in there. What a clever way of doing that. All right, let's keep on reading. You might not have been a victim of bullying, but chances are you've seen it happen to one of your classmates. Maybe you walked away or watched on, unsure what to do when a bully hurled hurtful comments or pushed around their victim. Maybe you clapped, laughed, or even captured the scene on your mobile phone. While you were not the one doing the bullying, experts say bystanders make a choice to be part of the problem or part of the solution. let's go back and unpack this introduction a little bit more. And that's what it is. It's an introduction. And I can see how this part here, making a choice to be part of the problem or solution, is linking back to the title. That's a very good technique there. So it's kind of introducing what the text is going to be about and connecting back to the actual problem here that's there. That's really clever. Let's have a look here. You might not have been a victim of bullying, but chances are you've seen it. Look at this. 1. And change that color. 2. 3. 4. 5. I wonder if you can notice what I'm highlighting. 6. 6 words there. You got it. Personal pronouns. That is a very, very clever technique, because straight away, this author is addressing the audience. He's talking to me, or she's talking to me. You might not have been a victim. You've seen it happen. Your classmates. Maybe you walked away. Maybe you clapped. Maybe while you were not doing the bullying. So that's very, very clever. A very clever technique used in the introduction here, bringing in and connecting and engaging with their audience by using those personal pronouns. Very, very clever. I really like here. Maybe you clapped or laughed or even captured the scene on your mobile phone. That there is creating a really good visualization. So it's really allowing me to visualize what that would look like. Visualization. Another really clever technique. Being really specific. Maybe you clapped, laughed, or even captured the scene on your mobile. Allowing me to really connect with that. Absolutely. This one I think is really powerful too. Hurled hurtful comments or pushed around their victim. The author there is using what we call emotive language. Making, even though I didn't do it, I'm listening to it and making me feel a little bit bad. Oh, did I do that or didn't I do that? Oh, am I part of this problem or am I part of this solution? So that emotive language there, that's really important. When I think about this bystander, that's an interesting word. What does it mean by bystander? So I'm thinking about breaking up that word. So I've got by and I've got stander. So when I think about stander, I think that I'm standing there. And when I think about by, I'm maybe like next to or present. So I'm thinking that bystander is someone who is there, seeing something, and then making a choice whether they're going to do something about it or be part of the problem. So that's someone who's not doing the actual bullying, but someone who's with the bully or can see what the bully is doing. So I think that's a really powerful word there as well. All right, let's have a look at the next paragraph. So what is bullying? Bullying is when someone hurts or harms another person and they do it again and again on purpose. And the person who is being hurt feels like they can't stop it from happening, explained Jessie Mitchell, Senior Advisor on Bullying with the Alana and Madeline Foundation. Oh, I love this. Straight away, right there, topic sentence. The author is telling me what this paragraph is going to be about. What is bullying? So I know that in this paragraph, it's actually going to give me a definition of some type about what it is. It's even using a rhetorical question for my topic sentence. That's really clever as well. I really like here, where was it? When someone hurts or harms. There's a little bit of alliteration there. A little bit of alliteration happening with that H letter. Absolutely. But it's actually even really strong verbs. So these are verbs, so doing words. And they're really strong. Hurts or harms. So using those strong words is like, really connecting with that emotive language. I think that's really, really clever technique that the author's using there as well. Even here, look at this. Someone hurts or harms another person, they do it again and again, again and again. Repetition. Mrs. Darby can't spell. Repetition. Still can't spell. There we go. So using that repetition, it wasn't just then they do it again. It's again and again. I wonder how powerful it would be they said and again. Wow, that would have been really, really powerful there. But it's just emphasizing that word, that, you know, it's happening over and over and over again. But the thing I think I like the most here is how all of that, maybe I'll highlight this bit here, is actually evidence. So it's actually a quote from a professional that's backing up the thinking. Look at that. So not only did they just tell me what it was, but they're actually giving me the definition from a senior advisor on bullying. So they didn't just go to the dictionary and go, what is bullying? They're actually giving me the explanation of what bullying is from someone who is a senior advisor on what bullying is. And the Alana Madeline Foundation is a foundation that was set up based on bullying and things like that. So I know that I can draw that on from my prior knowledge. So using quotes to be able to back up thinking and to provide some evidence. Fix up my spelling there. All right, let's keep on going. Bullying can be physical, verbal, and or social. Physical bullying can be hitting or kicking. Verbal bullying is repeatedly teasing someone in a nasty way. It can happen online, such as posting hurtful material about another student. Social bullying includes deliberately leaving another student out of things or encouraging other students not to be friends with that child. Did you know 1 in 4 age children report being recently bullied and 1 in 5 report recently cyberbullied? Straight away, look at this. Topic sentence. Bullying can be physical, verbal, and or social. That's telling me now that this paragraph is going to be about the different types of bullying. And the technique they're using is a list. They're actually listing the different types of bullying in their topic sentence. So straight away, I know that because that's the topic sentence, I'm going to get some more information about that here. I really like how they're using those really emotive adjectives. Look at that. Emotive adjectives. Those adjectives like nasty that's if I think about those words as something being mean, like nasty is right up there in terms of that modality. So that word nasty, I could have just used mean, but that word nasty has more of an impact, I feel, to me on me as the audience. All right, let's keep on going. So here we go. I think about coming up to hear this word deliberately. What do you think the purpose is of using that word deliberately in that sentence? It's actually an adverb, and it's actually giving me some more information to the word leaving, which is the verb. And talking about that word deliberately, because I could just say it includes leaving another student out, but that word deliberately is telling me how it's being done. So it's being done on purpose. It's being done deliberately. So having that word in there is really essential. That's really important. I like here, I've really thought this is really interesting. They've got a fact here, this did you know. They're using a fact there, but the fact is actually done as a rhetorical question. Just popping that down there. So actually saying, did you know 1 in 4 school-age children report being recently bullied and 1 in 5 report being recently cyberbullied? I could have just done a full stop there, but they've done it as a rhetorical question because they really want you to think. They really want you to respond to that mentally. Wow, no, I didn't know that. Did you know that? No. Wow, that's a lot of people. 1 in 4. If you think about that, that's a huge fact, a huge number. So, you know, that using those little techniques and those little strategies to author me as a reader. So if I'm straight away thinking about, right? So if I come back to here and I think about the techniques they're using to position a reader and the techniques they're using to influence my point of view, I'm coming back and I'm looking at all of the things that this author's doing. They're using personal pronouns. They're using rhetorical questions. They're using topic sentences to support their paragraphs. They're using quotes from experts. They're using repetition. They're using emotive language. They're using high modality words. They're using adverbs to add more information to the verbs. They're using facts that they know. And that's just in the first 1, 2, 3 paragraphs that we've looked at today. All of those techniques that the author's doing. And if I think about how that's influencing me already straight away, well, I'm thinking to myself, oh, gee, am I a bystander? Is that something I'm doing? Did I realize that this is what bullying was? Have I seen this happening but didn't even know? So straight away, this person who's presenting this speech, even though this is the written transcript of it, is already connecting with me about what's happening here. So think about those things. Use those for your literacy contract today, which is really easy. Just go onto the slide, watch the video, come up with some of your own statements of to do with bullying, and explore some of these techniques that you can be using. So this is going to help you for your writing this week as well. So make sure you keep coming back to this video and thinking about the things that I've just spoken about as well. We'll keep having a look tomorrow at some more of this text and what kind of techniques that they're using to influence and position my point of view.